Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today is not a tutorial. I'm here to chat with you about my 5-year journey of junk journal making. I have made many journals in 5 years, and I can honestly say that my journey has been about so much more than paper, scissors, and glue. It's about creativity, friendships, and rediscovering myself after retirement. It made me buy my first sewing machine. I learned how to sew on paper, which I love doing. And I find that everything that I make now without the sewing is so much different. Some journals I don't sew, or I don't sew on all my ephemeras, but when I do the sewing, I mean, it brings it to another level. So for everyone that has been following me along, encouraged me, swapped with me, or simply watched my videos quietly, thank you, thank you, thank you. This community has been more than I can say. I mean, it's such a great way of connecting, especially for us older ladies that are retired, and we just get to know each other from our new craft. So I'm gonna make you laugh and show you my first ever journal that I made before I had a sewing machine, before I had my Epson printer, and all I had was scrapbook paper from my scrapbooking years, which I started like 25 years ago. So when I first discovered, or when I first saw my first junk journal on YouTube, I thought, oh my God, what is that? It's it's exactly what I need to do. You don't have to be precise. You can just create what you want. No measuring, no, and this is exactly what I need to do. So um, so this exactly here is my first journal. I mean, can you see all the journals I made? And these are only the ones I kept for myself. The rest have sold. And I've sold many journals, and I'm so grateful for that. So the journals I make now are for myself, or if someone, contacts me and say, Fran, could you make me a journal for my sister, my mother, or whatever? And I'm very happy to do that. So this was my first journal with uh, a scrapbook paper collection that I had, that I bought at Michael's, and I didn't know how to sew in the signature, and I was very afraid to sew in the signatures, so I just glued my pages like one on top of the other. So this is very thick and heavy. So that's the difference between making a journal with scrapbook paper, or doing it with copy paper, or cardstock when you want to do your pockets, ephemeras, or whatever. So this here is very heavy, and I have only very few pages. So I don't recommend, and they break. When you close your scrapbook paper in half, it breaks. The paper, see, it's been it's 5 years, and it's gluing a bit. So it's not bad. I mean, I think it's pretty good. I used my Sizzix with my Tim Holtz letters. Made my first tag with my I had a my envelope punch board, so I made my tag with that, and this was a card from the collection. So it wasn't bad. It's very, and I made my little booklet here, but it's all heavy, and use all my punch borders, which I hardly use anymore. It's sad, but I don't. Made my first side pocket, and like I said, this is really, it's all done with big heavy cardstock. But I mean, you know, I learned, and that's why I'm keeping this, because I go back and I watch this and I'm saying, oh my goodness, my first belly band. So it's nice to watch. And then I decided to learn how to sew in my signatures. So I practice and practice and practice. I just took old paper, fold them in half, and sewed until I felt comfortable. And this was the one that I sewed in, the first one, but my stitching was really not good, not aligned. So I just decided to add a lace border to hide my stitches. So again, this is my second one. Again, done with scrapbook paper, a collection that I had. It's very heavy, and you can see my stitching in here. It doesn't look bad in here, but on the outside it didn't look very good. Very heavy pages. So and I didn't know how to coffee dyed paper, so I just took a paper with my inks and I just inked it with my pad because I didn't know how to do that. So my goodness, come a long way. Makes me laugh when I go back and look at this. Like, you know, look, see, my I had to put some glue here because my stitching wasn't holding up and it was going to take my book apart. So that was my second one. And the third one was getting better, a little bit better. And this was the Julie Nutting scrapbook paper that I had. I made a beautiful border here with my punch border, and I added lace on the side. So see, I'm getting better, but still very heavy, and I've only got one signature. A little, see, but I didn't leave any room for my gussets, so it's pretty tight to put my things in. And I just glued my little butterfly on a paper clip. I had seen someone do that, and I thought, oh, that's nice. I gotta learn how to do that. And then I started using my stamps. This is just a little paper, and just glued things on, made a little border here. But again, this journal is very, very heavy. But it's cute. I mean, not bad for my, and I had some, how do you call these, cardboard ephemeras. So again, my attempt at making coffee dyed paper. So that's it. Yeah, a lot of cardboard ephemeras that she had in that collection. So that's my third one. And then I really started doing junk journaling, and I can't. So the first one I made was a daisy journal. Oh yes, and then I discovered digitals. I thought I can't continue doing this, and then I saw a woman doing a junk journal with digitals, and I thought, what are digitals? So I started looking into that, and then I thought, oh, that's what I need to do. It's a lot, you know, not as heavy as cardstock or big heavy scrapbook paper. But then I'm thinking to myself, my goodness, it's going to cost a fortune in printing papers. So I asked a question on one of my Facebook groups, and she says, no. She said, if you're planning on doing a lot of printing for junk journal making, you need to get yourself Epson eco-dyed printer. And we just had a small HP printer that we had bought at Staples, and it was, I think it was like $75, and it was just to print our everyday things for like income tax or whatever. So I said to my husband, we need to go to Best Buy, and I want to go look at these Epson EcoTank. And then I started seeing on TV, Shaq O'Neal was doing commercials with the Epson printer. I thought, okay, this is what I need. So So this was, we're talking 2021. By this time, it's probably around September. So we went to, for my birthday in September, we went to Best Buy, and I talked to the salesman and I said, I want an Epson printer because I'm planning on doing a lot of printing. So he says, yes. Okay, so he showed me a few printers and he says, well, this one is good. And so my printer is the Epson ET3710. So I've had it now since September 2021. And touching wood, it's a perfect printer. I love it. Hardly uses any inks. I fill up my inks, I don't know, not too often, and it prints the colors. Of course, you need good printing papers if you want your colors to stand out. So then I started with the printer. Then I saw a video with Tracy Fox in December, where no, in November, excuse me, where she was doing the Christmas Advent for the 25 days of Christmas or something, and it was just tags. So I did it with her, and I loved doing the video because she was getting all the papers were free for that project, but I didn't have a sewing machine. She was starting to sew. She was sewing on it, and I thought, oh my goodness, I want a sewing machine. So for Christmas, my husband, I said, you know what? I don't really want anything, but I would really love a sewing machine for making my junk journals. He says, why? I says, I'm going to sew on paper. He says, you're kidding, right? I said, no, I never sewed in my life, never owned a sewing machine. So in December 2021, well, the beginning, because where I bought my sewing machine, they had a sale at the beginning of December. So bought the sewing machine, took 2 classes to learn how to thread my bobbin, and how to thread the needle, change the needle. And then I took a class on a bit of sewing and made an apron, and I wear this apron to this day when I do my mixed media. So it's full of paint and all that, and I love it. But anyway, so that's how my sewing journey came about, and the rest is history. So it's 5 years of a messy desk, painty fingers, a happy mail, and the magic of turning all scraps into something beautiful and meaningful, something that you can go back and look and say, oh my God, I can't believe I created this. And then I went on a Tim Holtz frenzy. So I decided to make myself a all about Tim Holtz. So this is my all in here is Tim Holtz. The fabric, the ephemeras, of course not the little doilies and paper, but everything I used in this journal is all Tim Holtz stuff. I have a video on this, and also I learned to print on vellum. Grunged up. I love making this journal. And I keep adding things to it because it's like a reference journal. So I've got a lot of empty pages. So this was my Tim Holtz, everything about Tim Holtz. And then I wanted to learn how to make a concertina. So I made my Tim Holtz concertina with the scrapbook paper. And for using scrapbook paper for concertina is a really ideal. It's perfect. And I love how this turned out also. I have a video on this one as well. So these were my Tim Holtz craze. So I made all kinds of things. I've worked in little paperback journals. I made my junk journal January and July. So I've got all kinds of little, I learned so much. Make my own art journals with caddy paper so I can have fun and play in here. I did the mixed media, again, another concertina, made a mixed media March 2025. And then I did my sewing journal, so everything in here is about sewing. And then I did my French blue, again, a lot of sewing. I do my Christmas little journals. I've done 2 big ones for swaps. I make travel notebooks, and this is my Alaska one. So, like I said, this is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way to spend time and create and just have fun. And I just got started like 5 years ago. Am I going to continue this much longer? Of course, until I'm going to feel like I want to do things, I will create. So, I just want to thank you all for being a part of my creative journey. I looked, before I made this video today, I looked on my YouTube creator, and it's funny because 71% of my viewers are not subscribers. So this for me, I'm hard to understand, but anyway, like I've always said, I'm not making videos for the money because I'm not getting monetized. I do it for myself so that I can go back and see, especially for the journals that I sold, since I don't have them with me, I go back and see, oh, I made this and oh, I made that and I remember making this. So this is why I do the YouTube videos, and also to share with you all my ideas, because I find that for the beginners, there's always new beginners, especially in the Facebook group. I see, oh, I'm beginning to make junk journals and I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do this. So that's why I have tips and tricks. My favorite tools when you're starting out. Of course, I've been, scrapbooking for over 20 years. So I have a lot of my tools, which I wouldn't be able to afford today. Like, for example, my Sizzix die cut machine. I think I paid $89 when I bought it. I've been here 9 years and I have a 70. So I bought it like 18 years ago. And today they're like $200. And I have all my dies also. I don't buy dies as much anymore because I have many, and I don't, I use mostly my Sizzix for embossing folders. I love to emboss, and that's, yesterday I've been playing with my embossing folders, and I wanted to see if it would emboss on brown paper packaging, and it does. And what you do is you just, getting away from the topic, but just so you know, you can emboss on brown paper packaging. I just doubled up my paper, so I get 2, and just put a little bit of water. So it's great, and then you can, you can paint over your embossing, and you can use this for pockets or whatever. So this is it, my friends. I just wanted to share with you my creative journey of 5 years. I don't know what the next 5 years will bring me, but maybe I'm just getting started again. I don't know, but I'm more into mixed media now. I love, 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 love doing mixed media. I've got all my paints. I've got everything I need. I just love playing. And I understand, I mean, I'm retired, so I have 2 days of my week that I concentrate on the house. I clean the house. I do the laundry. Well, the laundry I can do a little bit every day if I want to. But the rest of my week, I mean, we go out, my husband and I go out, do our shopping, and then, but the rest is free for me. So that's why I have a lot of time to create. Sometimes I will start something and say, oh my goodness, I should have made a small video so I can show my viewers, but and sometimes I don't. It's very and then I started a YouTube channel also 3 years ago. I mean, and I've got over 365 videos on my channel. That's another, oh my God, who would have thought that at 70 years old I would have a YouTube channel? I mean, I'm beyond myself, and my friends and family think, oh my God, this is great. So that's it, my friends. I just wanted to share this with you. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and create, create, create. It's such a beautiful, beautiful way to heal. A lot of people are going through terrible things, cancer, surgeries. But when you get to your craft table, your mind just goes blank and you're just there to have fun and create beautiful things with your scraps. You don't need to go out and buy many things, just use what you have. So that's it for me today. Keep well, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care, and see you soon. Bye bye.